In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a timeline like this one using Elementor and without having to use any additional plugin or additional code. We're just going to use Elementor built-in settings. We're also going to see an horizontal timeline, not only a vertical one like you see here, and we're going to optimize everything for mobile too, so that you can be sure that your timeline is going to be perfect and look perfect also on mobile devices. You see here, we're also going to see how you can set up some subtle animations like the one that you see here. And this tutorial works perfectly also with just Elementor free. I'm also going to provide you the exact same layouts that we're going to use during the tutorial if you want to just download and upload them into your website. And of course, I'm also going to show you the step-by-step process to recreate the same design that you see here. And the horizontal one would be a simple one like this one, or even a little bit more complex one like this one that you see here. So you're going to be able to recreate the same designs that you see here, or you can have the same layout downloaded and uploaded on your website. And as always, we're going to optimize everything for mobile. Are you ready? Let's get started. My name is Pascal and I'm a WordPress content creator. In case you like this kind of videos, be sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Now let's get started. We're going to start by showing you how you can download these templates and upload them to your website. I'm going to leave the link down below here where you can subscribe to my newsletter and you can download for free these layouts. And let me show you how you can proceed. You can go and create a new page, for example. And once you have downloaded the file that you will find into the description box, you can call this page, for example, Elementor Timeline. Okay, we can edit with Elementor, and now we can upload our template by clicking here on the folder icon. Okay, we can go and select here the import template, this icon here, and then we select the file. Be sure in the Elementor settings to enable your unfiltered file upload. So you go to Elementor settings and you be sure to go to the advanced tab and enable the unfiltered file uploads. Otherwise this won't work. Okay, now let's go back here. We select the files that we have just downloaded. I will strongly recommend you to open the zip file that I have provided you, and inside this zip file you will find the horizontal and the vertical JSON files. Let me show you how the vertical works. You click on it, you open, then you will find it into your library. You see, this one is the vertical, it is already here. Okay, we can go and insert this into the page. We can apply, and in a matter of seconds, you're gonna have the same designs that I show you at the beginning of the video. See here, and you can customize them. You can change the content, the title, the text, the images. You can change the icons of the timeline. You can change whatever you want to change, you see. You can even use videos instead of images here in your timeline if you prefer. Okay, now that you saw how to do so, I also show you how you can do the same with the horizontal one. And then you can go here and upload the other one. So you click here, select file, you go to the horizontal, in this case, and then you wait a few seconds and you're gonna have the beautiful horizontal timeline applied for you on your pages. So you can simply customize it at your needs. Okay, there it is, horizontal, insert, apply, and there we have our beautiful horizontal timeline. Et voila, there it is. We have two of them. You can choose the first one or the second one based on the kind of design that you prefer. And voila, you got your beautiful timeline like this. Okay, now if you want, I will show you the exact process that you need to follow if you want to learn how to recreate the same design step by step. Let's start now with the vertical timeline. You can use the timestamps down below if you want to jump to the part of the tutorial that you prefer. And in this case, we're going to start step by step from scratch, and we're going to recreate the exact design that you see here, and we're going to optimize it for mobile too. So let's see how to proceed. The first thing we need to do is to insert the Flexbox container, and it's going to be from left to right, this one. Then we're going to add some containers inside here. In this case, 2 containers. So we can click with the right click of the mouse and we can go and add a new container, and we can duplicate this by typing Command D or Control D into the keyboard. Now we can go and select the first container and we can rename it. We will call it event right. Okay, because it's going to be the event where I'm going to put the text and the content on the, sorry, not right, but left in this case, event left. Okay, the first one is where I'm going to put the text on the left. Perfect. And inside here, the 2 containers is going to be the left one, this one with the text, and the right one with the image. Okay, so that I can understand what I'm doing here from the structure point of view. Then I go and select the container here, I go to the layout, and I be sure here to make my gaps to 0 so that the containers are kind of facing each other, okay? And then I can go and insert some content. So I will start by adding my heading here, okay? I will use this to display my year, for example. Then I will go here and add a second heading that I can use to highlight the achievement or the timeline title. Okay, and then I can change here the H tag. I can do H3, for example, and I can go and add a few more content. If I want, I can add a text editor. I can add a call to action, whatever I want down here. Then I will add an image here on the right side. Okay, I will select an image that I already have in my website, and I just need now to add a little bit of spacing around the containers you see here to make them look a little bit better from a design point of view. So I select my first container, I go to the style tab, to the advanced tab, and I add some padding in rem. Okay, let's add to rem, and I'll do the same also in the other container. So I copy and paste here the settings in my second container. Okay, paste style, perfect. Now I need to add the border. You see here, I need to start creating the timeline actually, which is going to be the right border of my left container. So I select my left container here, I go to the style tab, I go to the border, and I go to the default here and I select solid. I make it 0, and then I decide to unlink values and make the border right 3 pixels. Look here, we see that we have our timeline starting to to shaping, and then we add the icon. So go here, icon. I can drop it here, for example. I can change, of course, the icon. I will use my dot icon, let's say this one, and then I will place it to the right. To do so, there are multiple ways that you can use. In this case, the easiest one is to place the element as an absolute value. To do so, we select the icon, we go to the advanced tab, we scroll down until we find position, and we choose absolute. Okay, then we're going to place it to the right side, and we're going to place it down here with an offset. In this case, you need to check and see what works best for you. In this case, I will place it about, let me say 40%, is going to work fine. And I'm going to have a negative margin to make it overlap perfectly to my timeline, you see. In this case, it depends on the dimension of the icon. If the icon is the standard dimension assigned by Elementor, it's going to work with minus 26 pixels. If you choose to use a different dimension for your icon, you should here go and select your pixels as they work better for you. In this case, you see here minus 26 works well. If I go and have a preview, it's going to work perfectly. Now I need to optimize this from mobile, so I need and check my mobile view here, and I need to place this icon here to the bottom. So I will go and instead of using the 40 pixels here, I will use 100%, and I will use a negative margin by not 100, but maybe I will just go 92. Perfect. And okay, and then I will add also a border to the second container. You see, I need to click on this second container here to the style tab. I go to do so correctly, I just need to go to the desktop before. I go here to the second container. I will just go to the border and I will enable this by putting it solid, and I will go to 0. Okay, this is important. You start from desktop, you put it to 0, and then you switch to mobile. So let's switch to mobile. Okay, now that the border is present but is 0, I can unlink values and I can choose right 3 pixels. So that now when I go and have a preview, I have my timeline perfectly showing up like this. If I go on tablet, it's going to show perfectly, and the same for all the others views. Wow, this looks gorgeous, you see? Very easy, customizable, and very, very powerful. Okay. Now if I want, I can also add an animation. I can select this container, I can go to the advanced tab, I can scroll down and add my motion effect. It's gonna be a default animation, an entrance animation, and it's gonna be a fade in up like this. I can choose also if I want slow, fast, or whatever I want. I can publish now, I can go ahead and have a quick preview, and voila, this is the first chunk of my timeline. Wow, beautiful. Now if I want to go on and construct all the other elements of my timeline, I just need to duplicate this one. Event left, duplicate. I will call this duplicate event right. Okay, let me rename it here if I can do it. Event right. Okay, and inside here I will just switch the order of the elements. So I'll put the image on the left and the text on the right. And of course I will need to redo all the elements here for the border, but we'll do in a moment. Let's just change the images so that we can see what we are doing precisely. Okay, 2022 for example. You can change the content, you can add videos, whatever you want here. And then let's optimize this for mobile. So this icon here, instead of being in the text container, we need just to choose to drop it in the image container in this case. As you can see now, it's perfectly aligned, and we just need to add the border. Now, first thing, we select the text container here, this one, and we get rid of this border here. So you see that we still have the old border here on the right. We need to get rid of it, and to do so, we just need to go here to the container, style tab, border, and we go border right 0. We make sure though to leave it on mobile. So we go and select mobile, and on the right here, we leave 3 pixels. While when we are on desktop, we do not need it, so perfect. Now it is not there. Let's have a quick preview. The border had disappeared. Well, when we reopen the portrait mobile, it's gonna work perfectly. Oh, sorry, here there is an error. Why? Oh yes, because I forgot to unlink values. So let me put again 0. Let's unlink values. Let's put the border right on mobile. Okay, now it's gonna work fine, perfectly. The timeline is respected, perfect. Now we need to work with the desktop view. And we need to add the border to the first container. So we go to the first container, we go to the border, we go to the right, and we place it 3 pixels. We make sure here to see it also on mobile. It is the case, so it's working fine. When we are on desktop, it looks fine, and when we are on mobile, it works fine. Okay, awesome. Okay, this is great. Let's have a quick preview now. We publish just a quick preview to see if everything works fine. Beautiful. You see, very smooth. It comes in very with a subtle animation. And let's align elements a little bit differently. You see that when we select the first container, we can go to the layout and we can tell that we want the elements to align to the vertical center. And we can do the same here with the other container here. We go to the layout and we align the elements to the vertical center like this. Okay, if you want, you can change the icon, the colors. You can do, yes, whatever you want from the style point of view, of course. I'm not going to stay here much time here on this, of course, but you can do it. And we can then go on by simply duplicating the content. If you want to duplicate and add some more events, you can just go to the first one, to the left. We go and duplicate it. We place it down here. We change the content. Let's say that we want a different image, for example. This one, then we change the year, 2023, publish, then we go also to the event right, we duplicate, we place it down under the left, and so on. If you want, you can rename them, of course, all the containers to be sure to be able to understand what's inside easily. And you can go and change the content, as you saw here. Very, very easy. Okay. Now, when we publish, we can go ahead and have a preview now. It looks beautiful, you see. This is a beautiful timeline, actually. You can add even more animations if you want to the images, to the icons. You can do whatever you want to increase your creativity aspects. But now what we need to do is to verify that everything looks fine also on mobile. Okay. And there is a little, yes, we need to do a little bit more optimization for mobile. We need to change the positioning of the images if we want to avoid this this effect. You see that we have text image, and then we have image text, and then we have text image, and it's a little bit annoying this. So if you want to change this result here, you can either go to the first one and go to the advanced tab and make the order end, so that we have image text, you see, or you can do the same with the image. So you can choose the image and you can place it before in the advanced tab, order, and you place it at the start. You can choose if you want to start with image and then the text, or if you want to do the opposite, and then you can optimize everything. Once you choose your this position here, you need then to address the positioning of the icon, you see. In this case, for example, the icon has fell down here, while we need it to be up here. So we select the icon, okay, and we place it at the beginning. We go to the advanced tab, and we make sure to make it offset 0%. Beautiful. Now we go and apply also the same principle also to the other elements. So we go to the third here and we select this container and we select that we want the, we select this container here and we wanted to place it to the end, or we can just place this to the top. So we go to the advanced tab and we place it to the order top. Perfect. So we have image text, image text, image text, and image text. Perfect. Okay, now we can just replace the icon here. Okay, we select this icon, we go to the advanced tab, and we place it at 0%. Perfect. Now we go back to desktop, everything looks fine. And when we go on mobile preview, everything works perfectly. So, we have our image text and we have the icon to the center. Same here, image and text. Same here, image and text, and same here. Beautiful. Now I'm going to show you how to recreate an horizontal timeline like this one. And we're going to have the first step, a simple timeline like this one. And the second step, a more complex one where you can place the content in a more creative way like you see here. And we'll just start from scratch. So I will make sure in my case to rename this page here, in my case, Elementor Timeline, horizontal. Okay, we're going to, in my case, I will just assign the Elementor canvas layout because I want to be more focused on the design, and I will start adding some content. In this case, to make the horizontal one, we're not going to use Flexbox, but we're going to use the grid system, which is pretty powerful in this case. So we select the first one and we make sure to add as much columns as we want to. I found that in general the number 4 works well for any design approach. If you need to add more, you can always add more, of course, but I will suggest you to do it by using more rows. If you need, for example, 8 event points, you can do it by adding some more rows, and you can add as many rows as you want. If you have a complex grid where you want to create a really long timeline, you can do it like this. Let's start with a simple one now, like this one, and we will use it, we'll create it by adding some simple content. So let's go here. Let's make sure here to the grid, we call it timeline grid. Okay, and then we're going to just go to the layout and make sure to have gaps to 0 here, column and row gap 0. Then we're going to add a container here in the first one, okay? And in this container, we're going to add some content, of course. So we go to the plus icon, we add our widgets. The first one should be the ear. Then we're going to add more heading, a second one. And the second heading is going to be the title. The title. We can place it on H3, okay? And then we can add some content if you want, of course. Okay. So this is the first one. We can also add some spacing now. We can go and select the container. We go to the advanced tab and we add 1 rem spacing. Okay. And we can add now a border to the top. And to make sure that it's going to be visible, I'm just going to add a few padding here to the main grid. We go here, rem. To the top, we're going to make it 5, and to the bottom 5 so that we can see it clearly. Okay, now we go here to the first container and we go to the style tab and we add a border. So border, we go to the solid one, we place it to 0. Okay, we unlink values, we go to the top and we place it at 3 pixels. We can also add a color if we prefer. Okay, now we can go and add the icon. So we go to icon. It's going to be very easy to place this one. We place it to the top. We also use the dot icon and we make sure now to make it absolute. We go to the style, just will assign the color. Okay. We go to the advanced tab. We make the position absolute, and then we make sure to work with this offset. Before proceeding, I will just decrease the size. We go to the style and make it 20 pixels or a little bit more, 25. Okay. We go to the advanced tab now and I will go and make it negative here. No, here just 0 and I will make it negative here. Okay. -14 works fine. And here I will go -1 to make it really perfect. Okay. Let's go and have a preview. My timeline looks beautiful. Now I just need to add an animation, an entrance animation. Okay, go to the advanced tab, scroll down. I make the motion effects animation from left, okay, not to the icon. I was just going to add this to the whole container. Okay, advanced animation, entrance fading left. Okay, And now we'll just duplicate this container. Duplicate, duplicate, and duplicate. Okay. Let me go and select the second one. I'll make sure now to the advanced tab to have an animation that's going to be delayed. I will go here and place it 300 pixels, 300 milliseconds. Go the same here, advanced, and I will use 600 milliseconds. I will go here and make it 900 milliseconds. Motion effects, animation delay, 900 milliseconds. Now when I publish and go and have a quick preview, it's gonna work beautifully, you see? It's gonna have this beautiful slide-in effect. And we can also go and change, of course, the content. So we can go here and change the titles. If you prefer, you can add some images, of course. You can add whatever you want here in those elements. Now let's see how to optimize all this for mobile. Okay, it looks beautiful. And when we go here on tablet, on tablet, you see that they might be a little bit too narrow. So we can decide to choose to select the timeline grid. Okay, and we can go to the layout and set this to be only 2 columns, for example. You see, so that we have a grid that is more visible on tablet and more, a little bit more tidy up. Okay, mobile looks already good. Okay, let's go and have a preview. Now we have our desktop here, we have laptop, we have tablet portrait, which becomes a grid of 4, okay? And then we have this, okay, beautiful. We can, if you want to, we can increase the distance from the elements when we are on tablet and mobile, or even in general, we can go to the desktop, we can go and select the layout and make sure here to have unlink the values column and row, and we just increase the row values. Let's go and use the rem 2. Okay, it's gonna be 0 for the column, and it's gonna be 2 for the row, for example, or even something more, 3 for the row. Let's go and publish now. When we have a preview, we'll see that we have more distance when we are on a row. So now it breathes more, and yes, it looks really more neat. Wow, beautiful. Perfect. So now we just created also our horizontal timeline. If you want to create a more complex design in your horizontal boxes, like you saw at the beginning here in this example, you need to use more containers. So this is not very recommended if you have a really long timeline. If you have a simple one with, I don't know, maybe 5, 6, 7, 10 steps, it is okay. If you have a very long one, maybe you just should keep it simple. But yes, let me show you how you can proceed if you want to create a design a little bit more complex like this one. And yeah, again, should not be there, okay? And let's get started. Okay, we're gonna have more flexibility from the creative point of view right now if you use this technique, and it's just going to be using more containers. So we're just going to duplicate this. And now I'm going to show you. The principle is the same, so we apply the grid and we start adding a container, but instead of adding the border top here, we go to the style and we remove the border top, so we make it none, okay? We go and copy and paste styles, okay? Go to the same here. I will lose my animations, but no problem, I will add them again manually after, okay? And now I will also remove my icon here. Delete, 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 okay. What I will do now is to add another container here, which will be responsible for the text. Okay. Perfect, 1 and 2. I will remove the padding here for my external container. So I will go to the advanced tab and I will go and place it to 0. Okay. I will add some padding here to this container instead. Okay, padding, sorry, I will keep it linked. I will make it 1 rem. Okay, and I will do the same here up. Okay, container, and I will place some other content inside here, and I will also add here some spacing. Advanced, padding, rem. Okay, so basically here the structure is very simple. We have the first container that contains everything, that has no spacing. Then we have the first one that contains the title or whatever you want. Let's say that this one, it is a little bit styled differently. Let's make it, for example, like this. Okay. This one we can also change a little bit the styling here using my global typography. Okay. And then we will add icon and a separator. But to do so, we need another container. So there are many containers, but this way you have a little bit of flexibility. Okay. Plus icon. Okay. We place the icon here. We can make it whatever we want, as always. Let's say that this one is our new icon. And we go here to the style, we make it 25 pixels, we make it a different color, let's say this one. And then we will add inside the same container the divider. Okay. In this case, we have more creativity because we can use different types of lines, you see? Wavy, zigzag, we can also, yeah, we can use whatever we want here. Dotted, dashed, let's say this one, for example. And we're going to make some adjustments here, for example, to the style. We go and make it a little bit more visible. We decrease the gap to 0. We make sure here to make it... oh, sorry, here there is actually an easier way to do so. We can delete the icon and we can use the icon inside the separator here. So we can go and place this separator here with the content using the icon. Beautiful. We can actually use the same icon that we selected before. We can change the dimensioning of this icon and the color, of course. Let's make it like this, for example. And then we will place it to the left. Beautiful, you see? It looks very, very nice. We can change the spacing if you want. Let's make it really, really narrow. We can rotate the icon and change the size and so on. But this is looking fine for me right now. And then we can decrease a little bit more the spacing between the elements inside this container. So we select the container, which is going to be, for example, the timeline block 1. Okay. So that we know that this is our first timeline block. And we can just decrease the spacing. So we go to the layout and we make it to 0. Or yes, to 0 works fine. Okay, perfect. Let's go and publish now. And we just need to get rid of the others containers. So instead of copy and pasting the style, we just get rid because it's going to be faster. And we're going to duplicate this. Okay. Oh, sorry. I duplicated the title. Instead of duplicating my timeline block number 1. Okay, duplicate. Perfect. Okay, I'll do the same with the other one. Let's see if it works. Command D, and it works fine. Perfect. As you can see, it's a little bit more complex, this structure, but it allows you to create a really, really creative and, of course, a more complex design, you see here. So we can change the content, we can make it like this, we can change the animations for each step, and we can then optimize it, as we saw before, for the mobile point of view. Let me go and have a quick preview. This looks beautiful. We should now just add the animation delay as we did before, you see. By adding the delay here, this is gonna be the animation fading left, and it's gonna be, oh, sorry, I just was working on the title. This should not happen. No, not the title, but the whole container. Okay, we can rename them, of course, here by typing block number 2, number 3, and so on. And yes, let's add a subtle animation delay here. So we're going to have a beautiful effect, 300. And we're going to the timeline block here. Advanced motion effects, 600. The last one, timeline block number 1. Advanced motion effects. And here we are, 900 milliseconds. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let's go and check it out. Wow, beautiful. Just reload the page, don't worry. Beautiful, looks fine. You see here, you have more flexibility. You can add actually a little bit more content like this, and then you just need to optimize it from mobile, but it's gonna look just already good. You see here, because we optimized it, yes, before. So it's beautiful. Great. Let me know if you enjoyed this tutorial, and please give me a feedback down in the comment section down below. My name is Pascal, and I will leave you now with 2 of my videos. This one is my latest Elementor tutorial 2025, a step-by-step guide that you can use to follow along and create from scratch a beautiful professional website using Elementor. I hope to see you in my next videos, and until then, I wish you all the best with WordPress and Elementor. Ciao, ciao!